I need some specialty accounting help, but I need to be economical, and I was thinking of just working with a consultant to train someone internally who costs less. How much should I expect to pay the consultant? Oh, well, that's a great question. The name of this question in the business world is called like make versus buy. Should I have an outside consultant do it, or should I do it in-house? And so in this case, you've made a decision. I want to do it in-house because it'll cost me less, but we need to beef up things a little bit. So, and obviously we don't have here in the fact pattern the size of your organization or what financially is at stake with this training. So I'm not going to give you a number, but I am going to give you a framework. Here's how to figure out how much to pay a consultant to come in and do some training. You want to consider a couple of things. First and foremost, your return on investment. What's the price difference between what you would pay the consultant to simply do the work and what you're paying the employee to do the work? So now you have your price difference, and over a period of time that you believe is reasonable, maybe a couple of years would be standard for something like this. Reasonable in the sense of knowledge. If knowledge is for one specific task, you're not going to get much of a return on investment. You might as well have the consultant do it. But I'm presuming that this training will deliver knowledge to your client, and if you're smart, you're going to document this in the form of screencasts, checklists, maybe some pros and some screenshots. So this not only becomes knowledge for your employee, but it becomes organizational knowledge. More about that in a moment. So that knowledge ostensibly is going to be used over and over again throughout a period of time, let's say a couple of years. So what's the price difference between what you would pay the consultant to do it for a couple of years versus what you would pay an employee to do it for a couple of years? That is your cap. You definitely don't want to pay more than that, because then you might as well pay the consultant, right? So in order to get a return on investment, pay something less than that. A good return on investment to get is always 4 to 7 times. That's a good range to look at for getting return on investment in a consultant. So I hope that is helpful for you to use that as a framework for figuring out how to pay a consultant. Don't fall into the trap that a lot of people fall into, thinking, oh, well, teachers don't get paid that much, right? I see that we have a number of people here joining me for this one. Any comments on, well, teachers don't get paid too much. You should pay less for training than you would pay to have someone do the job. No, not at all. You're going to pay multiple times over, but the value that you get is going to give and give and give benefits to your organization. Absolutely, you're going to get a return on that. So that's approximately how to price those services to get your in-house team trained and get them up to spec. Now, I told you a minute ago that I was going to tell you some more about documenting the knowledge. So an organization is immortal by design, but it's filled with mortals. So if you want, people are going to leave the organization for one reason or another. They're going to get to the end of their natural lifespan. They're going to be fired. They're going to pursue another opportunity. They're going to decide to retire or stop working for another reason. A human being will always part ways with an organization for one reason or another. So when you consider that, and when you consider that an organization is immortal, don't have all the knowledge contained within someone's head, even the heads of a couple of someone's. Have it documented, accessible, but don't make that process a real pain. Make it natural. So if the process makes sense to be in a checklist, then the next time the person engages in the process, have that person put it in a checklist. If the process makes sense to have it on a video and a screencast, you can get some really inexpensive tools like Screencast-O-Matic. It's a really stupid name, but it's an amazing technology. You can use screencasts, videos, checklists, written procedures, whatever makes sense for the task. Make sure it's not locked in the head of some people, because it's so much more difficult to pass that on. Remember, an organization is immortal, but it's run by mortal beings.